So, have you ever thought this? What's the secret to finding and working with a great virtual assistant, or better yet, a virtual assistant team? Well, it's kind of simple. You really have to connect with the right people. So, trust me, I know this from personal experience. So, for years, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. And for years, I was the lone wolf virtual assistant. If my clients needed something, I did it. It didn't matter what it was, from social media strategy, digital marketing strategy, creating copy, funnels, email sequences. It was me behind the computer. And while my business was thriving, I wasn't. The stress was really killing me. And it was awful because I was trying to do everything myself. And I was really limiting my business's growth. And I couldn't take on new clients because I didn't have the time or the resources. And all of that changed when I hired my first virtual assistant. And yes, I know that it's insane that it took me years to do that. I am a virtual assistant after all. So why wouldn't I take my own medicine? Well, today I look back at that and I think, was I crazy? Or was I just being stubborn? I think, oh, I can do it all, maybe a little bit of both. But today I've definitely seen the light. I know the fantastic benefits of working with a virtual assistant or a virtual assistant team because I work with one and I have my own team that supports me. And so when a client hires me to work with me, they also get them. So it's kind of amazing. So I thought I would talk today a little bit about the things that you would get when you work with me and my team. So, a big thing is extensive experience, education, and training. So, when you hire a virtual assistant online, it can be really tricky to determine if they truly specialize in what you need in their field. That is until they deliver some sort of content or product for you that you can judge for yourself. So, I know for a fact that I'm highly skilled in a variety of areas, but I also know that there's areas where having a specialist really gives me the edge. So I wanted my business to deliver the best quality content and products and services possible. And so obviously I can't do every single thing myself. And that's why I go out of my way to hire the best. And to assemble my team, I had several different areas that I really wanted to focus on. So one area for me is copy editing. So, anyone can write copy. You see a lot of that online, not so great copy. And it doesn't take a professional to write copy, but you do need a professional to write copy that's going to convert customers. You need something that reads really naturally on the page. The copy will set off alarm bells to readers if they feel like it's a little bit off. And the same when it comes to, writing scripts for podcasts or webinars or YouTube videos or other types of spoken word type projects. You really need a kind of copy that's going to sound natural when spoken aloud and not stiff or awkward. And when hiring a copywriter or a copy editor, you should really hire based on a wide variety of qualifications. Of course, they need writing skills, right? But they also kind of need some specialties as well. So, for example, my copy editor is a former actor and playwright. So that makes him an expert at writing copy that sounds very natural when spoken aloud. So he's perfect for helping me create my scripts. And this makes him an expert in writing copy that really sounds great when spoken aloud. And it also helps when replicating a client's voice in their copy. Another one of my copy editors has a background as a reporter. So this experience lends their copy to more of a formal style. And that translates really well when we're creating, white papers or downloads or other types of professional documents. And then we move into graphic designers, right? So have you ever sat down on your computer to play with Photoshop or Canva? And, while it can be a great fun time, the average person really only knows how to use maybe 10% of the features in Photoshop, or they kind of get sucked into the rabbit hole that is Canva. So if you want professional graphics created for your business, you really do need someone who can utilize those softwares to its full potential. And when it comes to hiring graphic designers, it doesn't only boil down to seeing what they have in their portfolio. Graphic designers really need to be able to deliver professional quality content with a tight turnaround. You don't have time to sit and wait for weeks or months for a logo or social media graphics or a slide deck. And that's why every graphic designer should be able to rapidly deliver incredible graphics without compromising on the quality. And then, of course, digital marketers, right? So some people think that handling, we'll say social media, for an example, would be a cakewalk, right? Most people spend a lot of time every day on social media. But there is a huge difference between browsing your friends' feeds and, needing to write and post content at regular intervals throughout the day for your business. And the trick about digital marketing is that you really do need to utilize these different types of recreational tools, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, in a professional way that's going to connect with those who are browsing for fun. And this can be surprisingly difficult, especially if you're aiming for organic engagement, which you should be. So when it comes to digital marketing, I have extensive experience from my earliest days of working in this business for 20 years. And there is a certain knack when it comes to digital marketing. There's something that I look for when hiring people to help me on my team with certain aspects of digital marketing. So for example, if I hire someone to help me run Facebook ads, I'm looking for a certain mindset and enthusiasm around engaging with people and customers through social media. And that mindset really translates into more traffic for my clients. It's just an example. But another great thing about working with our team is that you have only one point of contact. So, of course, I have other people on my team as well, right? So website designer, I have my own assistant, and you're probably asking yourself, so if I work with you, am I going to be working with a lot of different people? Because that sounds like a lot of work, and it is a lot of work, and we don't do it that way. So my answer is nope. They are my team, which means that they support me in the work that I do for you. I'm the only point of contact that you need. When you schedule a call, you're speaking with me. I go into great detail about what you want and you need from your digital marketing. So be ready for a lot of questions. But with my experience in all of these areas, I can easily translate those ideas into concrete directions for my team. And of course, a virtual assistant team is great for repetitive tasks. So as a small business owner myself, I know how quickly the day can get away from you, whether it's writing weekly blog content or email content, writing your social media for the month, or even updating your website. There's always stuff that needs to be done. It's like being on a treadmill. These small repetitive tasks, they never stop, but they're all super essential parts of keeping your online business running. And when you're operating your small business, these tasks usually fall on your shoulders. They can drain your energy, they eat up hours and hours of your day. And that's a huge problem when you have more important things to do on your to-do list, right? Which, as the owner of your business, you really should be focusing on that one thing that only you can do. And I know how it is. I bet when most people are quitting at around 5 o'clock, you're still going, hoping that you can finish what you need to finish by bedtime. And in my mind, the best benefit of working with a virtual assistant team is that you can offload those repetitive tasks to the team. You instantly free up hours and hours from your week. And the trick is to ensure that you're hiring someone who knows how to handle these tasks, but can also execute them efficiently and on time with little to no interaction with you. So for example, if you have a weekly blog, of course, you're probably going to want to look at it. You might want to add your own little, words to it sometimes, but you need it by a certain day so that you have a chance to look at it, offer any type of feedback, but it also needs to be back to your virtual assistant in time to get it up and out when it should be on schedule. So that's really important. And then Another place where virtual assistants can really shine is in handling one-off projects. So sometimes it's those big projects that can really devour your time or leave you scrambling to quit at a sane hour. I know countless small business owners who decided to put together a webinar, right? A webinar is a big thing right now. And I hear from a lot of them, that they kind of just quit halfway through because it's too much work. They don't have enough time to finish it. They've been working on it for a year. They just want it done. And when it comes to something like a webinar, it really isn't as simple as doing a little research and throwing together some slides and then winging the audio while you're live with your audience. There's so much more that goes into a project like a webinar. So first, the research alone, you need to make sure that everything is super accurate. One mistake or incorrect fact can really damage your reputation as an expert in your field. And seeing that you're putting your webinar on to position yourself as an expert, well, yeah. And then second, of course, is your script. You don't want to wing it. Some people have that skill, but a lot of people don't. And just because you know your subject matter inside and out doesn't mean that you may forget a key factor or get lost in the topic. But when you write a script, you have something in front of you that really keeps you on track, while also guaranteeing that the webinar doesn't run too long, right? And next are the graphics. So throwing together something really quickly in Paint isn't going to cut it when it comes to your webinar. Your slides need to look super professional. So I always think when Apple launches a product, right? That's what you want your slides to look like. And you want to hire a virtual assistant that has professional graphic design skills to really launch that webinar for you. And then, of course, fourth is practice makes perfect. So dozens of my clients use me as a sounding board to practice their presentations, their webinars. And with my experienced ear, I can help them to perfect their delivery and make sure that they feel comfortable presenting in front of their audience. And last but not least is the tech, right? So like all things technical, webinars can occasionally go off the rails. The last thing that you want is that when you're in the middle of your presentation, to something awful happen to your tech. So you want to make sure that you have a virtual assistant that's very experienced in the tech so that they can handle everything in the background. So you don't have to worry about anything other than sharing your expertise with your audience. And of course, a webinar is just one example of a massive project that can take up weeks of your life. And so it's just an example of how a virtual assistant team can come in and really help you make that project so much more effective. And your webinar can be completed in a fraction of the time with more polish than you could ever achieve by yourself. So what did we really learn today? Well, when it comes to hiring a virtual assistant or a virtual assistant team, you really have to find the right one, or better yet, a one-stop shop like us. And next, you really want someone or a team with extensive education, experience, and training in their specialized fields, not just a generalist. And when it comes to hiring copywriters, they come in a lot of different types. Some focus on more of a conversational style, some more formal business writing. With our team, you get it all, but you really need to hire for what you need. And a virtual assistant graphic designer really needs to be able to deliver a high quality product in a quick turnaround time. And of course, digital marketing is a specialized skill. So if you need help with digital marketing, you definitely want to hire someone who has that experience. And when working with a virtual assistant team, it's much easier if you have one point of contact than trying to work with the entire team on your own. And of course, remember that virtual assistants excel at not only repetitive tasks, but they can also help you with really large, expansive projects, if they have the right skill set. And never underestimate the amount of work that goes into a complex task like a webinar, a product launch, an online course. You get it. And honestly, one of the biggest headaches with hiring a virtual assistant is finding the right person or the right team. But once you do have them in your corner, you will probably be astonished at the number of things that they can accomplish. But if you need to get a better idea of how a virtual team can be used, then I do have a free workbook for you that you can check out. I'll drop the link in the notes below, but you can grab it at jennylyon.com/VA team. And it's a workbook that basically walks you through how to use a virtual assistant team, not only to grow your business, but to get more of your life back. And of course, if you feel like you do need a virtual assistant already, you know that, or you're looking to hire a virtual assistant team, please reach out. I'm always happy to help answer any questions that you have. I can't wait to work with you. And if you have any questions at all, please reach out. I hope that this year is a massive success for your online business. I'll see you next time.